So if you're more anxious and your ex is more avoidant, watch this video so that way you don't run them off, chase them off again, scare them away, and exacerbate, this breakup that's happening between you two. So avoidance and anxious people can work. You can have a relationship between these two attachment styles, but each one of them has their own sphere of work that they need to do since they're classified as anything other than secure, right? And so the work of the avoidant is to proactively communicate during the times where they're feeling triggered, or, if they're going to be somewhat distant. For example, like if I'm having a shitty day or something like that, it's like, hey, just so you know, I'm having a shitty day because of X, Y, and Z. It's not you. I just want you to know because I can tell that my face is kind of like, my facial expression isn't like a happy one today. So that's what's going on. So that's the type of work an avoidant would do. And of course, if it's your ex, you can't force them to do this work, and hopefully they'll do it when you get back together. But that's their half of the work. Now, if you're an anxious person, you're going to tend to want reassurance because you've been let down before in life and you're worried about being abandoned and all these other things. And so, especially if your partner's avoidant, they're going to trigger this anxious response in you. And so there's a tendency to seek an unlimited amount of reassurance from your partner, and that drains them of energy. And so if you want to be a good partner and you don't want to drain them of energy, you want to work to try to seek internal validation to create that, so that the times that you have to seek reassurance from them can be minimized. You're never going to go completely without it, right? Because anybody, not just an avoidant, but any person can do something that makes their partner feel uncomfortable. And, anybody, whether you're anxious or secure or anybody, sometimes we do need reassurance. So sometimes you're going to need to ask for reassurance. But when you ask for reassurance, you can do it in the following way, so that way you don't do it too much. So let's take the concept of emotional bank account. For every negative thing that you do to somebody, you need to have like 5 positive things in their direction, 5 investments, if you will, or deposits, to counteract the negative thing. So if I'm anxious and I feel unsettled, and finally I ask my partner, like, hey, how do you feel about things right now? And they're like, hey, don't worry, everything's cool. Then I need to do like 5 other things that day that are going to sort of counteract that. And I don't mean like bending over backwards and doing favors and like being visibly like too much. But for example, maybe I go out of my way to make a compliment, or maybe I go out of my way to say something particularly funny and get them to laugh. Okay, well, those 2 things right there, that's 2 out of my 5 positive, deposits into my bank account. Now, if you want help reattracting your avoidant ex, click my profile. Click this link down here and get in touch with me, and I'm going to help you reattract your ex.